Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. We are from class Research Quantitative and Science 1, SQQP3073. We are presenting the research topic about the impact of physical activity towards stress level among UUM students. My partner member's name is Nur Suwaibah Ahmad Sauti 262640 and my name is Wanu Hidayah binti Warazmi 264747. Introduction. Stress defined as any type of change that causes physical, emotional, and psychological strain. Harmful stress causes various health problems, so it's said to be the root of all kinds of disease, said OCAM and Kim JCJ 2018. Stress has very negative effects on mental health and may thereby causes secondary problems. Aim of this study was to investigate the impact of physical activity such as low active, moderate active, and high active. Problem statement for this research. First is lack of free time for themselves to do exercise. Second is lack of knowledge on how to manage their stress with limited activity. And third is most students today lack of awareness about the importance of physical activity. Our research questions are what's the effect of physical activities on real-life psychophysiological stress responses. Number 2 is what stage of physical activity level in participant of student in weekly. Third is what factors influencing physical activity on UUM students. And the last one is what is the relationship between physical activity on stress level among UUM students. Our research objectives are to explore positive impact of physical activity towards stress level, to determine physical activity level weekly among UUM students, to identify the factor influencing physical activity in UUM students, and the last one is to evaluate the correlation between physical activity and stress level. Scope of the research. Respondents. Our respondents consist from semester 1 and above. They are from CHAS, COGIS, and COB. Second is selection. We do selection to precisely determine physical activity level weekly and its effect on stress level. Significance of the research. The purpose of this research was to investigate the effect of physical activity on stress level according to the types of physical activity in UUM students with activity limitation, encourage people with activity limitation to participate in physical activity, and help them to deal with harmful stress, which is said to be root of many diseases. It is because the use of exercise has particularly been helpful in students that can be reduced stress. Moreover, teenagers should be aware of the needs of steps to taken precisely ensure that the physical activity among adolescents be increased continuously. It is because currently there is the increasing percentage of sedentary lifestyle or lack of exercise among adolescents. Literature review. In this part, we achieve objective number 1 in our research. First article is regularly active in physical activity tend to get higher sleep quality, high well-being, and high positive effect on academic stress periods than those who do not, said Leonhard Funch, 2017. Second, high aerobic endurance capacity accounts for reduced heart rate and cerebral alpha enhanced response to psychosocial stress, said Weiss et al. 2016. Third, physical activity can effectively ameliorate mental well-being and show faster psychological recovery from a stressor once the stressor is no longer present, said Grazia Mengri 2020. And the last one is physical exercise able to counteract metabolic disorder on muscle, joint pathologies, and neurodegenerative disease, said Grazia Mengri 2020. Timeline. In our research, we have 5 phases, which are phase 1, review of literature. We achieve objective number 1. And then in phase 2, we develop questionnaire to collect and analyze data. We achieve objective number 2. In phase 3, we calculate physical activity level by using EPAC. We achieve objective number 3. In phase 4, we calculate survey and use linear regression approaches to achieve objective number 3. And the last phase is phase 5. We finally finish the report and video to achieve objective number 4. Data collection. Total respondent is 161 students from all the colleges. The questionnaire we use Google survey. It is given with 4 sections. First section, socio-demographic. Second section, consists effect, which is International Physical Activity Questionnaire questions. Third section is factor influence physical activity using nominal scale measurement. The fourth section is PSS, which is perceived stress scale assessment. Sampling technique. We use convenience sampling. It is because the respondents selected based on their willingness and availability. The respondents are from first year degree and above. Analysis of data. This research is a descriptive and inferential study. Analysis can be made by using SPSS version 2000 in Windows and Microsoft Excel. In our research, we use a few formulas. First, formula physical activity level. The summation between time of physical activity multiplied by days of physical activity and divide by 7. The answer of this formula is classified to 3 sections, which is low active, is below than 600 minutes per week, active, larger than 16 minutes per week, but below than 3,000 minutes. The bigger than 30,000 minutes is classified as high active. The second formula is to calculate the stress level. We firstly number the answer from the respondents with 0, never, 1, almost never, 2, sometimes, 3, fairly often, 4, very often, and then we calculate all the summation between each respondent, and then we can continue to find the correlation between PSS and effect. And from that score, we can know the level of stress, which is for the respondent who get scores below and equal, then 13 is qualified as low stress, and who get between 13 to 26 is moderate stress, and for those who get larger than 27 scores, they qualify as high perceived stress. Next is work schedule. In week 1, we identify the problem for our study, and then in week 1 also we write the proposal, and then in second week we start develop questionnaire. In week 3, we try to collect data by giving online questionnaire to the students via WhatsApp, and then in week 4 we analyze data until week 5, and then also in week 5 we write the final report and record video presentation. Expected finding. First, what is the effect of physical activities on real life psychological stress responses? Physical activity tend to get higher sleep quality, high well-being, and high positive effect on academic stress periods than those who do not. Second, what stage of physical activity level in participate of student in weekly? The mostly UUM student on physical activity level is active person. Third is what factors influencing physical activity on UUM students. Inner students, time constraints and exercises only when they have a lot of time were factors that like to be inactive among UUM students. The last one is what is the relationship between physical activity on stress level among the UM students. There is positive strong correlation between physical activity on stress level among the UM students.
Assalamualaikum, and thank you, Ain. Before I continue with our presentation, let me intro ourselves. My name is Nasraiba and my number is 26240. So I will continue with chapter 4 about data analysis. First section is about demographic. So based on this graph are represented by 161 data with 126 female and 35 males. Then the highest of student is third year with 81 female and 31 males. However, the smallest of student at first year with 7 female and 7 males. So based on this graph is a number of students by residency status. Most of students are studying off campus or also can say study at compound with 111 data compared with students are studying on campus with only 50 data. This graph shows percentage of respondents by college. Higher percentage of students are from College of Art and Science, SAS, with a 60% or 96 students. Next is students from College of Business, COP, with 27% or 42 students. And the smallest percentage of students are from College of Law, Government and International Studies, Colgate, with 14% or 23 students. And next section is physical activity. This table shows descriptive statistics by strength activity in minutes in a day. The average of strength activity by student is 90.62 minutes and standard error is 7.48. Therefore, the mode of students spend time in strength activity is 120 minutes. This table issues descriptive statistics by moderate activity in minutes by a day. The average of moderate activity by student is 89.42 minutes and standard error is 8.6. Therefore, the mode of student spend time in moderate activity is 16 minutes. And the last table is show descriptive statistics by walking activity in minutes per a day. The average of walking at least 10 minutes by student is 320.71 minutes and standard error is 63.98. Therefore, the mode of student spend time in walking is 60 minutes. This graph shows that the number of students by physical activity level, and the next level is descriptive statistics by physical activity level. The average of students do the physical activity is 298.34 minutes and standard error is 51.85. Therefore, the mood of students spend time in physical activity is 34 and 34.28 minutes. And this graph shows the most of students UUM are inactive with 140 data. It causes of some of factors the inclusion of the student to do physical activity. Therefore, for active level is in physical activity is only 17 students, while the number of students who are higher active is 4 students. So this figure shows that many of UUM students are inactive at physical activity. And the next section is about factor of inclusion physical activity. Based on this table, show factor of personnel, and for a respondent only exercise when have a lot of time is most on agree with 62 respondent or 38.51%. Therefore, for a respondent exercise only when have a skill on that particular activity is most on agree with 52 respondent or 32.30%. Moreover, for a respondent embrace to do physical activity is most on disagree with 51 respondent or 31.68%. This table shows about factor environment. For a respondent does not have enough equipment to do physical activity is most unnatural with 54 respondents or 33.54%. Therefore, for a facility for perform or residency respondent is most strongly agree with 48 respondents or 39.51%. This table shows about factor family. For a respondent family does not practice physical activity in daily life is most unnatural with 51 respondents or 31.68%. This table shows about factor knowledge. For a respondent know about physical activity can reduce stress is most strongly agree with 88 respondents or 54.66%. Therefore, for a respondent know that physical activity can improve academic performance is most agree with 62 respondents or 38.51%. Moreover, for a respondent know that about stretching is important before exercise is most strongly agree with 109 respondents or 67.7%. I will continue with section 4, PSS. This graph shows about perceived stress score. The higher of stress level by UUM student is moderate stress with total 145 students, while student female and student male is 105 students and 33 students respectively. So I will continue for chapter 5 about result and discussion. This table shows about key action item. The higher frequency of responding in terms of gender is female, with the percentage of is 78.26%. The highest respondent come from third year with the count is 102. The higher frequency of respondent come from charge with the frequency is 96. The frequency of students are studying off campus with 111. Result from first objective, we achieve at literature review that is physical activity will bring positive impact towards stress level, and result from second objective is the highest percentage in low inactive is male with 88.57%, while the highest percentage in active physical is female with 11.11%, and the highest of percentage in hyperactive physical activity is male with 2.86%. And for third objective, we can many studies have shown that time constraint was one of the reasons for UUM students to avoid physical activity and more likely to be low active and active. However, students have a skill on that particular activity more likely to be active. For the environment factor, show the higher percentage show that UUM student does not have enough equipment to do exercise and facility for from home or residency were more likely to be low active. And for the factor of family is show the higher percentage show that UUM students' family does not practice physical activity or exercise in daily life were more likely to be low active. However, this factor also encourages students to change their daily ways of doing activities often and be high active person. And the last table show that the factor of knowledge. Majority of UUM students were aware about this statement. Stretching is important before exercise. It is because stretching and warming up prior to exercise is more important and beneficial to allow the muscle to be more flexible during physical activity. And the last objective is about correlation PSS and physical activity level. There is a correlation physical perceived stress score and international physical activity questionnaire score. Since the value 0.825 is a strong positive correlation, which means the parent value R2 is 0.825 square equal with 0.681. The parent's value show that 68.1% result is a perceived stress score is because of their international physical activity questionnaire score. And the last one is about Chapter 6, Conclusion. In conclusion, most of the respondents in UUM are inactive level in physical activity. It is because most of respondents are lack of time to do physical activity. However, physical activity will bring positive impact towards stress level. Therefore, UUM students should be encouraged to manage their time to be involved in physical activity. In addition, most of the respondents in UUM are aware about the knowledge of physical activity, especially aware about this statement. Stretching is important before exercise. And another knowledge that as physical activity can reduce stress level and also improve academic performance. That's all from me and Wan Hidayah. Thank you.